Since the dawn of humanity, we have sought ways to wage war. Sticks and stones gave way to swords and shields. Eventually, gunpowder fueled cannons and rifles. But the 20th century brought a new weapon, one unlike any before. The atomic bomb, with its blinding flash and mushroom cloud, forever changed the world. This wasn't just a bigger bomb, it was a fundamental shift. The energy released by splitting atoms dwarfed anything ever seen. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, forever etched in history, tragically demonstrated this power. The world watched in awe and horror. The atomic bomb wasn't just a weapon, it became a symbol. It represented humanity's capacity for both destruction and scientific achievement. The bomb ushered in the Cold War. The threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large, shaping global politics and policy for decades. The Manhattan Project, a secret American program, brought the bomb into existence. Brilliant scientists driven by wartime urgency unlocked the secrets of the atom. What they found was both terrifying and exhilarating. The power to end a war, but also the power to end civilization. The atomic bomb raised profound questions. Was this a weapon too terrible to ever use? Could we control this power, or would it ultimately control us? These questions are as relevant today as they were in 1945. The purpose of this essay is to delve into the truth about nuclear weapons. We will examine the evidence, both for and against their existence and use. We will explore the claims of those who believe the bomb is a lie, and why their voices are often marginalized. We will journey back to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, seeking to understand what truly happened on those fateful days. This is not just a historical exercise, it's about understanding the present and shaping the future. The nuclear threat is not a relic of the past, it's an ongoing reality. By grappling with the complexities of this issue, we can make informed decisions about our world. The atomic bombs were born from the Manhattan Project, a top-secret endeavor during World War II. Thousands of scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, driven by the fear that Nazi Germany would develop the bomb first. The project culminated in the Trinity test in New Mexico on July 16, 1945. This event marked the first successful detonation of a nuclear weapon. Eyewitness accounts describe the blinding flash, intense heat, and mushroom cloud. Declassified documents provide irrefutable proof of the Manhattan Project and nuclear weapons. The weight of historical evidence and independent sources confirms the reality of the Manhattan Project. The destructive power of nuclear weapons stems from the fundamental forces within atoms. Unlike conventional explosives, which rely on chemical reactions, nuclear weapons harness the energy released when atoms are split, or fission, or forced together, fusion. This energy, as predicted by Albert Einstein's famous equation E equals mc squared, is immense. In a fission bomb, the nucleus of a heavy atom like uranium or plutonium is bombarded with neutrons. This causes the atom to split into lighter elements, releasing tremendous energy and more neutrons, triggering a chain reaction. This chain reaction multiplies exponentially, unleashing a devastating amount of energy in a fraction of a second. The science behind nuclear weapons is not a secret. It is based on well-established principles of physics and is taught in universities worldwide. Scientists have repeatedly demonstrated and confirmed the principles of nuclear fission and fusion in controlled laboratory settings. The very existence of nuclear power plants, which harness nuclear fission to generate electricity, serves as tangible proof that the science behind nuclear weapons is sound. While nuclear power plants operate on different principles to prevent explosions, they rely on the same fundamental process of atomic fission. Section 3. Scars on the Earth, Physical Evidence of Nuclear Testing. The development and testing of nuclear weapons have left indelible marks on our planet. From the deserts of Nevada to the atolls of the Pacific Ocean, The physical evidence of nuclear detonations is undeniable. These sites stand as grim reminders of the destructive power we have unleashed. Following the Trinity test, numerous nuclear tests were conducted throughout the Cold War, primarily by the United States and the Soviet Union. These tests left behind craters visible from space, irradiated landscapes, and elevated levels of radioactivity in soil, water, and even human remains. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, signed by over 180 countries, was a direct response to the global concern over the environmental and health impacts of nuclear testing. While not yet in full force, the treaty reflects a global consensus on the tangible and lasting consequences of nuclear detonations. The scientific community has extensively studied the effects of nuclear testing on the environment and human health. Studies have linked exposure to radiation from nuclear fallout to increased rates of cancer, birth defects, and other health problems. These findings further validate the reality of nuclear testing and its lasting impact. Section 4. Beyond the blast long-term impacts of nuclear detonations, the immediate devastation caused by a nuclear explosion, while horrific, is only part of the story. The long-term consequences of nuclear detonations, known as nuclear fallout, can persist for decades, contaminating the environment and posing significant health risks to populations far beyond the blast zone. Nuclear fallout consists of radioactive particles released into the atmosphere after a detonation. These particles, carried by wind currents, can travel thousands of miles, contaminating soil, water, and food sources. When inhaled or ingested, these radioactive particles can damage cells and DNA, leading to various cancers and other illnesses. The long shadow of nuclear testing can be seen in the elevated rates of cancer and other health problems among communities downwind of test sites. For example, studies have shown a higher incidence of thyroid cancer among individuals exposed to radioactive iodine released from the Chernobyl disaster in 1986. The enduring legacy of nuclear testing serves as a stark reminder of the far-reaching and long-lasting consequences of nuclear weapons. These impacts extend far beyond the immediate blast zone, affecting generations to come and highlighting the devastating and indiscriminate nature of these weapons. Section 1. Whispers of Doubt. The Seeds of Nuclear Skepticism. The atomic bomb from its very inception has been shrouded in secrecy and controversy. While the official narrative paints a picture of scientific triumph and wartime necessity, some individuals and groups have questioned the very existence of nuclear weapons. They point to inconsistencies, anomalies, and alternative explanations that challenge the conventional wisdom. Nuclear skepticism, while often dismissed as fringe theory, stems from a deep distrust of governments and powerful institutions. Proponents argue that the idea of a weapon so powerful, so destructive, is simply too fantastical to be true. They believe that the concept of the atomic bomb was fabricated, perhaps to justify massive wartime spending, to intimidate enemies, or to exert control over populations. Skeptics often cite the lack of independent verification of key events, such as the Trinity test and the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They argue that much of the information available to the public comes from government sources, which they believe may have been manipulated or exaggerated for political purposes. This skepticism, while often met with resistance and ridicule, highlights the importance of critical thinking and questioning established narratives, especially when dealing with events of such magnitude and consequence as the development and use of nuclear weapons. Section 2. Questioning the physics, unconventional theories, and the bomb. At the heart of nuclear skepticism lies a fundamental challenge to the accepted science behind atomic weapons. While mainstream physics supports the principles of nuclear fission and fusion, some scientists and researchers propose alternative theories that contradict the official narrative. One such theory posits that the immense energy released during supposed nuclear explosions is not the result of atomic fission or fusion, but rather a different, unexplained phenomenon. Some speculate that this energy could be derived from zero-point energy, a hypothetical energy field that exists throughout the universe, or from other, as yet undiscovered forces. Others question the feasibility of creating a self-sustaining chain reaction, a critical component of fission bombs. They argue that the conditions required for such a reaction are extremely precise and difficult to achieve, even in controlled laboratory settings, let alone in a weaponized device. While these alternative theories often lack mainstream scientific support and have not been rigorously tested or validated, they nonetheless raise intriguing questions about the true nature of the explosions witnessed in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and at various test sites around the world. Could there be more to the story than what we have been told? Section 3. Manufactured Narratives, the Media and the Atomic Bomb. The media shaped public perception of nuclear weapons from Hiroshima to nuclear proliferation. Skeptics argue media influence wasn't always objective, citing W2 censorship and propaganda. They question the authenticity of iconic nuclear images and footage. Critical analysis is essential for understanding these historical narratives. Section 4. The Fog of War, Information Control, and the Bomb. The development and use of nuclear weapons have been characterized by secrecy and deliberate attempts to control information. Governments, driven by national security concerns, have resorted to censorship and propaganda to shape public perception. The Manhattan Project itself was a testament to the power of secrecy. Thousands of scientists worked in isolation, their communication restricted. The government understood that controlling information was crucial to the project's success. This culture of secrecy extended beyond the Manhattan Project. The true extent of the damage caused by the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings was often concealed. The fog of war makes it challenging to separate fact from fiction. This environment of secrecy fuels skepticism, hindering open conversations about nuclear weapons. Imagine a vast echoing chamber where countless voices clamor for attention. Each voice carries a story, a perspective, a truth, but some voices are amplified, drowning out others. This is the challenge faced by those who challenge the dominant narrative. The narrative of nuclear weapons is deeply entrenched, reinforced through textbooks, documentaries, and news. Challenging this narrative is like shouting into a hurricane. Those who question it are often marginalized, their research ignored, credentials dismissed, labeled as conspiracy theorists. Questioning established narratives is crucial. Suppressing dissent stifles intellectual curiosity. The scientific community, often idealized as objective, is not immune to politics and power. When science intersects with national security, truth can become entangled with secrecy and control. Scientists challenging nuclear narratives face resistance, ridicule, and career obstacles. Government funding ties research to defense agendas, stifling dissent. Classified information limits independent verification, silencing critical voices. The adage "extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence" is often used to dismiss those who challenge established beliefs, particularly in the realm of science. When it comes to nuclear weapons, the demand for extraordinary evidence places an almost insurmountable hurdle before those who express skepticism. The events in question, the Trinity test, the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, occurred decades ago, shrouded in secrecy and wartime propaganda. Accessing primary sources, conducting independent investigations, and gathering irrefutable evidence is a daunting, if not impossible task. Moreover, the very nature of the subject matter, nuclear physics, weapons design, classified government programs, is highly complex and technical. Critiquing the official narrative requires a deep understanding of these fields, making it challenging for those outside the scientific mainstream to engage in meaningful debate. This is not to say that all claims, no matter how outlandish, should be given equal weight. However, it is crucial to recognize that the burden of proof should not be used as a tool to stifle genuine inquiry or to dismiss alternative perspectives out of hand. Section 4. Fear and Conformity, Social Pressures and the Price of Dissent. Humans are social creatures, hardwired to seek belonging and acceptance within their chosen groups. This innate desire for conformity can manifest as a powerful force, shaping our beliefs, behaviors, and even our perceptions of reality. When it comes to challenging deeply held societal beliefs, particularly those intertwined with fear, conformity can become a tool for silencing dissent and maintaining the status quo. The specter of nuclear annihilation has loomed large over humanity for decades, a constant source of anxiety, uncertainty, and dread. The very idea of nuclear weapons, their unimaginable destructive power, is deeply unsettling. In such a climate of fear, questioning the official narrative on nuclear weapons can be perceived not only as intellectually challenging, but also as morally suspect. Those who dare to do so may face social ostracism, accusations of naivete, or even accusations of undermining national security. This pressure to conform, to accept the official narrative without question, can be especially acute within institutions and communities that benefit from the existence of nuclear weapons, the military, the defense industry, government agencies. In these circles, dissent is not merely discouraged, it can be career-ending. August 6, 1945, a date forever seared into history. Hiroshima, a bustling city, was transformed into unimaginable destruction. A single bomb unleashed a force never before witnessed. The devastation was unlike anything ever seen. Entire city blocks reduced to rubble. The Hiroshima bombing remains a chilling reminder of war's human cost. Section 2. Nagasaki, a second shadow of doubt. Just 3 days after Hiroshima, Nagasaki felt the fury of a new kind of weapon. Nagasaki became the second and last target of an atomic bomb. This time, the weapon was Fat Man, a plutonium bomb. The devastation in Nagasaki differed in key aspects from Hiroshima. The bomb caused significant damage but left a smaller area of complete destruction. This difference has fueled speculation among researchers. Some point to the lack of a sustained firestorm in Nagasaki. They also note the relatively low levels of residual radiation detected. Others argue these discrepancies can be explained by terrain and weather conditions. They maintain that the evidence supports the official narrative. The debate over Nagasaki highlights the importance of scrutinizing historical events. History is a complex tapestry of fact, interpretation, and sometimes deliberate obfuscation. Section 3. The Scientific Divide, Analyzing the Devastation. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki ignited a firestorm of debate among historians, policymakers, and scientists. Scientists grappled with evidence supporting and challenging the official narrative. The devastation, blinding flash, and mushroom clouds pointed to atomic weapons. Unique radioactive isotopes confirmed nuclear fission. Some questioned the nature and extent of the damage. Discrepancies in blast patterns and burns were noted. Some suggested enhanced conventional explosives or experimental weapons. This debate highlights the complexities of interpreting evidence. It reminds us of the disagreements and skepticism within the scientific community. Section 4. Beyond the Rubble, Unanswered Questions, Linger. Decades after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, unanswered questions linger. Why so few first-hand accounts from ground zero? What happened to the shadows of vaporized objects and people? Were attempts made to suppress evidence? New technologies offer potential to uncover hidden details. The debate is about understanding the full impact and ensuring such horrors are never repeated. The quest for truth is ongoing, requiring constant re-examination and interpretation. Section 1. Living in the Shadow, the Enduring Impact of the Nuclear Debate. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki cast a long shadow over humanity. These events forced us to confront the terrifying potential of our own ingenuity. We unlocked the secrets of the atom, unleashing unimaginable destruction. The debate over nuclear weapons has profound implications for the 21st century. The threat of nuclear war has shaped global politics and human existence for over 70 years. It fueled an arms race, sparked proxy wars, and created a climate of fear. If nuclear weapons are real, we must prevent their use through diplomacy. If they are a hoax, the world has been held hostage by a lie. Either way, the implications are profound and demand re-examination. The existence of nuclear weapons places immense responsibility on us all. We are guardians of the atom, ensuring it's never unleashed again. This duty falls on leaders, scientists, and every one of us. We must educate ourselves and engage in thoughtful dialogue. The words we use shape our perceptions and inspire hope. This debate affects the fate of our planet and future. Seeking clarity in the atomic age, a call for open dialogue. The debate over nuclear weapons highlights the need for open, honest, and evidence-based dialogue. We must demand transparency, accountability, and access to information. Encourage independent research, critical thinking, and open exchange of ideas. Recognize the importance of diverse perspectives and the complexity of truth. Let us engage in a dialogue informed by evidence and driven by a shared desire for a better future. The lingering cloud uncertainty and the nuclear question. From the Manhattan Project to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the atomic bomb's history is profound. Despite overwhelming evidence, uncertainty remains. Some question its reality, seeking alternative explanations. This uncertainty is a testament to our critical thinking. It compels us to question, scrutinize, and re-examine. Beyond the mushroom cloud, a shared responsibility. The atomic bomb debate highlights a fundamental truth. We live in an age defined by scientific advancements, profound consequences. With this power comes a shared responsibility to ensure our creations do not destroy us. This responsibility extends beyond governments and scientists to all of us. We must be informed, engaged citizens holding leaders accountable. The nuclear age compels us to recognize our shared humanity and work together. Our atomic legacy. Navigating the future with open eyes. As we move further into the 21st century, the legacy of the atomic bomb continues to shape our world. The threat of nuclear war remains a very real and present danger. Technological advancements and geopolitical tensions contribute to an uncertain global landscape. The lessons from the atomic age are more relevant than ever. We must resist simplistic solutions and embrace complexity. Embrace dialogue, diplomacy, and cooperation. The future remains unwritten. We have the power to paint a masterpiece or unleash chaos. Let us choose peace. Harness the atom for the betterment of humankind. Let the mushroom cloud fade into history, a stark reminder of a path not taken. Write a new chapter in human history, a chapter defined by hope, cooperation, and a brighter future for all.